So I use this ridiculously confusing looking wiring diagram, this multimeter, to identify and label every single one of these wires in this wiring harness. And I think I found a big piece of the engine not starting problem. Stick around. Hey, what's going on, motorcycling friends? So today I'm back working on the Honda GL500. I got the wiring harness all attached to the bike, tried to start it up, nothing. So I got the speedo and the tach to light up, but the light in them was very dim. And while I had the wiring harness hooked up to the touch, it was getting very, very warm. Now, a couple things can cause the bike to not run, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But only two things can cause the wiring harness to heat up like that and possibly melt the wires. And that's too much resistance at a certain point or a short to ground. So the wiring harness felt warm up by the headlights and the ignition. It also felt warm to the touch, down by the battery and the spark units. That tells me it's not resistance at one location. It tells me that it's likely short to ground someplace along the system. Opened up the wiring harness a bit, and where the ignition coils are, I noticed two things by the right side ignition coil. The first, and easily noticeable, this wire started to melt, this black and white wire. Also, I noticed probably a bigger issue is that there's exposed wire here near where this would connect to the ignition coil. And that's likely causing a lot of the problems. So what I want to do now is, got this crazy looking wiring diagram. So I'm going to test on each one of these wires for continuity and figure out exactly where each one of them goes and label them with this masking tape. It's a huge endeavor, but I think it's going to be helpful for a couple different reasons. One, maybe I can get the bike started with this wiring harness after I figure out if continuity is flowing through each one of these wires and figure out where each one of them goes. And two, even if I don't use this wiring harness, which is highly likely that I will go with building my own wiring harness, even if I don't use it, this is going to be a really good learning experience in how this works with this motorcycle. And thirdly, if I do build my own wiring harness, I'm likely going to use the same colors that's associated with this wiring diagram. That way, I can still refer back to this. Or I could create my own wiring diagram, but it's kind of handy to have this and to have that paired up. So as I mentioned just a moment ago, I have a theory why the bike might not be starting. So this is the end of the wiring harness that connects to the battery. This is the starter solenoid. In fact, maybe I'll throw a picture up. This is where the fuse lives, and this fuse actually blew the first time I connected the wiring harness. So this is a 30 amp fuse. And if this fuse blows, that's a huge deal. That's a lot of electricity flowing through your motorcycle. So basically this connects to here, and this connects to the positive side of the battery. There's also the ground side that connects to the negative side of the battery. Don't worry about if that doesn't make sense. It's really helpful to see that on the bike, just kind of explaining this briefly. But this little diode here is what I'm thinking it might be causing some problems. It's just a theory at this point. So what a diode does is basically says yes or no to let electricity flow through. Electricity is coming from the battery, it's going up to the diode, and it's stopped. Unless the motorcycle is in neutral or the clutch is pulled in, the bike won't start. If the bike is in neutral, or if the clutch is pulled in, a signal will come back to this diode saying, yes, neutral is on, or yes, the clutch is pulled in. And then you'll be able to press the starter button and the motorcycle will start. So I'm gonna test this diode to see if this diode is bad. If it's good, this is not a reason why the motorcycle isn't starting, which will help me rule out one theory. So I'm gonna test this. So I'll take the diode out, and I'm already looking at this now, and I'm seeing a lot of corrosion in here. That tells me that this wiring harness probably got wet, or there was some type of moisture in here causing this corrosion. The diode looks okay for the most part. There's a little bit of corrosion on it, but I'm gonna test it and see. So I have my multimeter here, and I'm gonna use it for this entire project here. I'm gonna test this diode first, and then I'm gonna test for continuity using this same multimeter. So let me start out by saying that this is not a tutorial on how to use a multimeter. There are a lot of great videos on YouTube right now that show you how to use a multimeter, much better than I could right now. I've got a couple videos linked below that show you how to use a multimeter specifically with your motorcycle. Go ahead and check those out. These are ones that I've watched to help me, and hopefully they'll be able to help you. So with this diode testing, I'm gonna switch this to the diode symbol, which is, I'm pointing to right there. Right now, that is the diode symbol. And this has 3 different options: ohms, continuity, and diode. Don't worry about ohms and continuity right now. Right now, I'm just gonna select it to diode. So this diode has a positive side and a negative side. So what I wanna do is I wanna put the black lead on the positive end of the diode and the red lead on the negative end. And if this is a good diode, it will show about a 0.5 volt passing through. And then if I switch them around, put the black lead on the negative and the red on the positive, it should show nothing. If that's the case, it is a good diode. It's doing its job. If it shows no volts, it means neutral is off. So this diode allows electricity only flow in one direction. So I'm showing 0.553, about a 0.5 volt. So if I switch these up and it shows a 0.5 volt, that means this diode is bad. If it shows nothing, the diode is good. Nothing. This diode is good. This is not the source of the issue. The diode isn't anyway, but I do see that there is a ton of corrosion in here. So what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna test continuity with these wires along with the rest of these and then label them so I know where everything goes, see if everything's working out all right. Let's get started with that. All right, so here's the wiring diagram. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna look at this wiring diagram and we're gonna look at each wire. We're gonna go through each and every single one of them and then label them together. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna do that to you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna test the first one, then you'll know how to do it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and label everything. And then I'm gonna take you to Photoshop and kind of see how this bike goes together with each component in this diagram. It's gonna be much easier to understand if I show it to you in Photoshop. And if you don't understand this, that's all right. It looks like a confusing mess until you really start to get into it and really start to understand it. But if you're doing your own build right now, go ahead and buy your service manual. I have the Climber one here that I bought off eBay for about, I don't know, $25 or $30. But for free off the internet, I printed out the official Honda shop manual. Actually, I went to a forum to find this that had a link to their forum wiki, which had this scanned and available to me. The wiring diagram in the official shop manual is good, and there's a lot of really good information in the official shop manual. But the reason why I like the Climber wiring diagram is because it's in color. So I'm gonna use that one for obvious reasons. Has the color of the wiring, has each one of the units all marked out. So I'm gonna use this one. So I'm gonna test continuity here, right? So I'm gonna switch the multimeter to continuity. And basically how this works, I'm gonna put one lead at one end of the wire along the wiring harness, and I'm gonna put the other lead at the other end. If I hear a continuous beep, that means electricity can flow through that wire unabated. And then after that, I'm gonna use this wiring diagram and then go ahead and label it. But I'm gonna inspect the wires too, because even though I have continuity, there could be sections of the wire that are exposed that can touch the frame or touch another part of the motorcycle and short to ground. And that can cause a lot of problems. So I'm gonna do both those things. So that black and white wire that I showed you earlier that leads to the ignition coil, that starts at the spark units, which are these things. I'm not gonna go into exactly how this works. Right now, I just wanna focus on the wires themselves. So that black and white wire starts at the spark units, leads up the wiring harness, leads up to the spark units. So here are the 2 connections for the spark units. And looking at them, one leads to one spark unit, the other leads to the other spark unit. And I'm looking at this now. There's a blue wire here and a blue wire here. There's also a black and white wire here and a black and white wire here. Looking at this spark unit end is the opposite end of this ignition coil end because of the blue wire. This one has a yellow wire. Same with the other one, yellow wire, yellow wire. So I'm fairly certain that this is the opposite end of this ignition coil wire. So I'm gonna test the black and white wire. I have it set for continuity, and I'm gonna take the red lead and put it into the back of the spark unit wire, black and white. I'm just gonna shove it in there, because you kind of need 3 hands to do this, so you need to be able to have that sit in there like that. So I have that set right there. Now, if this black and white wire is the same as this one, which I suspect, touching the black and white wire connection on this end, the multimeter should continuously beep. Let's see if that's true. There it is. So this black and white wire extends from here all the way to the spark unit back here. So there is continuity between that wire. I'm gonna label that. But I also know I'm gonna replace this wire because it's melted and cracked open right here. So that's gonna cause a lot of problems. So I know for a fact I will change it there. I can also see here further down that there's also some melting and exposure of that black and white wire. So there you go. Labeled from spark unit IC for ignition coil. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna test that blue wire. And the blue wire is this middle one in here. And that tells me there's continuity with that blue wire. So I'm gonna label that one as well. But according to my wiring diagram, I'm gonna label the other side too, because that blue wire also starts at the pickup coil. Don't worry about what that is right now, but just know that that blue wire has a different starting point from the pickup coil to the spark unit to the ignition coil. There we go, from spark unit, ignition coil. Now I want better access to each one of these wires here so I can perfectly label them. Because I'm gonna be taking all of this electrical tape off here and any of the wiring harness housing, it's gonna start to come apart a little bit. So I have some cable ties to keep it together in certain points. So I'm gonna get started taking this apart. All right, so using this multimeter and checking for continuity in every single one of these wires and figuring out where they start, where they end, and vice versa. I've labeled every single one of these, so I know exactly which each one of these wires, associated with the colors in this wiring diagram, what each one is for. And believe me, if this looks like it takes a long time, it does. But I think I found a big piece of the puzzle as to why the bike does not start. So when I had the wiring harness hooked before, push the starter button, nothing. Even with the clutch pulled in, even with it neutral, still nothing. Yes, I still have the short to ground issue, and that I'll deal with by replacing that entire wire that melted. I think that will solve the problem. But the big piece of the puzzle is this red and green wire right here. I didn't have this hooked up last time I had the wiring harness hooked up. This is the neutral switch. Basically what this does is if the bike is in neutral, allows the bike to start. This connects directly into the diode that I was testing earlier. When the bike is in neutral, this switch closes and sends a signal to this diode. And then the diode then says, okay, that switch is closed. Let electricity flow through, let the bike start. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace this black and white wire here that melted. Oh boy, did it ever. And it melted multiple locations along the line. And it's a fairly long wire and extends to a lot of places, so it's gonna take me a little bit. I'm definitely gonna look for the same gauge, but I'm gonna try and find the same color. If I can't find the same black and white color, I don't think I'll have too much trouble, but if I can't find it, I'll choose a different color and I'll update it on my wiring diagram. But I think once I correct those issues and I hook this back up, I'll at least get the bike to turn over. We shall see. So if you like this video, go ahead and click on that like button. It helps out the channel an awful lot. If you're new here, thanks for watching. Go ahead and click on that subscribe button. There's a couple ways you can do it. Down below, but you may also notice in the lower right corner, there's also a subscribe icon. Go ahead and click that to subscribe as well. And also click on that bell icon so you know when I upload more videos just like this one. As always, stay safe out there. Keep your wheels rolling in the right direction. Thanks for watching, everybody.